Hey, welcome back. Today I wanted to go over what your hands are doing when you're balancing upside down in a handstand. Typically when people are first learning the handstand, their whole bodies are going to be doing a lot of flapping around, but just like you see me standing here right now, I'm just standing up and I'm balanced, right? And that's what we want our handstand to look like. And the way we do that is by using our hands correctly. If I'm going to flip over the top of my handstands, I'll press a little more with my fingers. If I'm overcorrecting and coming back down towards my feet, then I'm going to push more with my palms and relax my fingers, and that's going to help me recenter back over the hands. So let's get a closer up angle right now. I'll show you exactly what that looks like with the hands doing the balancing. All right, let's check out the hands. First thing I want to think about when I'm getting my hands ready to do a handstand is getting my fingers splayed out just a little bit so that this is a bigger surface area. If I'm in here with my hand close together, this is going to be small. With them spread out, that's going to give me better balance. And it should be a natural amount of splay in the hand. We don't want to really be like forcing it as wide as possible because that's going to be extra energy that we could use for balancing instead. So just nice open fingers, it's going to be what you want. So with our hands in this position, the next thing I want you to think about is pushing this first knuckle into the ground. And what I'm referring to the first knuckle in terms of the bottom of your hand, in terms of the palm, it's this entire ridge here, right before your fingers start, underneath these knuckles. So when I say push the first knuckle down, I'm talking about pushing down through this section of your palm, and in particular, the section of your palm right under your index and middle finger. So I'm gonna spread my fingers, push down through those first knuckles, and then I'm gonna squeeze the ground actively with my fingers. And so you can see as I squeeze here, this knuckle on each finger pops up just a little bit. And so that lets me know I'm putting some nice pressure into the ground. And you can see my fingers changing colors in the front as I squeeze, and it pushes the blood out. So this is our handstand position. This is what your hand should look like. Some people will have a little less finger arch. Some people will really tent up hard. That's pretty individual. A lot of times the really advanced people, you're gonna see them with much more tent just because they have strong hands and lots of experience and they've been doing it for so long, it's developed that way. But even if you're a beginner, we wanna see some tenting up to indicate that you're using that pressure correctly. So with those hands nice and set up, in order to balance, with a handstand typically we're going to be going this direction or this direction. If we're going side to side, you're probably just going to have to bail out and do some sort of a cartwheel and start over. So in order to stop ourselves from going over the top, we're going to push back hard through our fingers this way, and that's going to drive us back to level. Sometimes we'll push so hard we'll overcorrect and we'll go this direction. So if we go too far this direction, we're going to relax with those fingers in that first knuckle, and that's going to allow us to settle and drift back over the top. And ideally what we're going to do is making constant little adjustments so that we never have to make that big save to salvage our handstand. So it's constant work, keeping those fingers spread, that first knuckle down, and let's check out what it looks like from a wider view. All right, let's put it into action. So I'm gonna get my hands down on the ground. I'm gonna spread those fingers. I'm gonna make sure I got pressure through those first knuckles down into the ground. And then when I kick up, I'm gonna stabilize and try to push into my position. Now here, my body is going to stay in one place, and if I feel myself start to drift over the top, then I'm just going to push hard with those fingers, and that's going to help push me back to straight. Oh, if I go too much to the palms, then I relax the fingers and I settle, then I push back up again and settle into my position, right? So I'm never doing any of this business to try to save that handstand. And your handstand obviously isn't going to look that controlled at first, but when you're doing wall holds, when you're doing your warm-up, I want you to really focus on using your fingers and feeling that grip. And the more you focus on that, each and every time that you work on your handstands, the sooner your handstand is going to start to calm down, be still, and be controlled correctly with your hands.